This week we'll be going over all of the achievements in Oxenfree, where we'll be uncovering the secrets of a dead rich lady, learning about an old submarine, and sacrificing our friends to ghosts. This one was recommended by Spooky Pear over on YouTube and has 24 achievements with an average completion time of about 24 hours. And at the time of recording this video, it's going to be worth 21 points over on A-Stats, 5,404 on Steam Hunters, and 10,742 on Metagamerscore. And now, let's get into it. I'm going to start out by saying that this is very much a story-driven game, so you may want to go through a blind playthrough first, and then come here to go through these 3 achievement playthroughs. Yes, that's right, it is going to take 3 playthroughs of the game to actually 100% it. So this video is going to have a different format than normal, as we'll have it separated by the initial good guy playthrough with the collectibles, then our burn all bridges playthrough, and lastly our strong silent type playthrough. This guide will be best followed from the beginning of the first playthrough and then go through each one of them from there. I'll of course point out each individual achievement in my usual style, and put a label up for when we're working on a specific part of an achievement. So the first playthrough will be our good guy collectible run, where we'll get a few achievements that can basically be done on any run, the collectible achievements, and then specifically New Beginnings and Matchmaker. New Beginnings really just comes down to one major choice near the end of the game, so there's not too much to say about it yet, but Matchmaker is going to be for getting Ren and Nona to date, which is one of the more complicated ones to do. For this, we're going to have a series of steps to go through during the playthrough, so I'll put this tag up on the screen when we're doing one of these parts. Starting out for this playthrough, we'll go through things as normal on the boat and leading up to the campfire at the beginning. When we start up Slap or Dare, you're gonna want to be sure to be a homie and not call Ren out about him liking Nona.
Oh yeah, alright. Great, let's just move on.
Then, once it's time to hop the fence, you're gonna need to tell Jonas to wait a minute, and you'll want to go talk to Nona about Ren. This is going to be the first major point that's needed for Matchmaker, but if you do skip this part, it's not a huge deal, as long as you follow the rest of the steps needed for it. You'll then go through the game normally for a while at this point until we talk to Ren and Clarissa over the radio. Then you're gonna go head out to get Ren first, because who cares about Clarissa anyway? On your way over there, you'll be able to get It's a Me for jumping the crazy chasm in the woods. This'll be over here at this point. You have the option of going down and around, but if you just walk and hit the jump button, you can jump over the chasm.
Jesus, what are you doing jumping across that?
Then after you get Ren and Nona back, you could keep heading out to grab Clarissa. Then once you get past the Clarissa portion, you're gonna go back over to Dig Harden Tower to where Ren and Nona have met back up. Be sure not to blame Jonas for what happened in the cave, so we can keep him on our good side as well as working towards New Beginnings. The second major point for Matchmaker is going to be to choose Jonas to be the one that comes along with you back over to Main Street. That way Ren and Nona will have some time alone to get to know each other in the tower, and Ren can start spitting some game. Now once you get out to Main Street, we're gonna have a few things going on before you pick up the first Adler letter and the upgraded radio. This is the point at which you can start going through to get the Adler letters parts 1 through 3 for collecting all of Maggie's letters, and ghost stories for finding all of the hidden frequencies. There are going to be 12 frequencies and 13 letters to collect. A lot of the frequencies will be outside of the regular radio's range, so this upgraded one from here will be required. The letters also don't spawn until after this point in the game, so no matter what, you need to wait till this point to go through and grind out these collectibles. Before we actually run through all of the collectibles though, we're gonna quickly take a trip back over to the Adler Estate Gate to unlock that and go inside. Here you'll need to go talk to Nona again once you get to the point of searching the house. Be sure to talk to her about Ren and how great of a guy he is for the third part of our Matchmaker checklist. Now at this point we can start going through all of those collectible letters and anomalies. Of course, we got the first one on Main Street automatically during the story when we found out that there are other letters hidden around the island. The second will also be in Main Street right over here. And then we can move on to Discovery Cliffs, where we're going to have frequency 100.3 right over here. You'll need to first unlock this radio door to get into the building, and then you can tune in to the actual anomaly. All of the anomaly frequencies will be marked by these small stacks of rocks to make them easier to find. And then the third letter will be right over here. Now we'll move on to Epiphany Fields, where we can get anomaly 102.3 over here. And letter number 4 will be right here. Then we can also go right up here to get anomaly 105.1. Now we can move on to the Beacon Beach and we'll grab letter 5 from down here. We'll then move back up on to Harden Tower, where we can grab letter 6 from down here at the base of the tower. Head on back out and over to the Milner Outpost from here so we can go grab anomaly 104.7 from right down here. And then over at the base of the tower, we then have letter 7. Continuing on to facilities, we can grab letter 8 from down here near the beds. And anomaly 89.9 from in here behind an office that you'll need to unlock another radio lock in order to get inside. Then we'll move on to US Army RCS, where we can get anomaly 94.3 from right down here. And then letter 9 from over here. We'll then head all the way back over to the Towhee Woods, where we can get anomaly 103.5 right over here. And then letter 10 over here. Moving on to Bridge Stand, we can grab anomaly 99.9 from down here. And you can also grab letter 11 right over here. And then real quick, when the ghosts ask you to sacrifice Clarissa, tell them no, or at the very least do not tell Jonas, Nona, or Ren if you do accept it. You'll also want to make sure that at this point you do talk to Nona before you resolve the time loop, and be sure to tell her that Ren knew she liked him and keep pushing for them to get together. This will be the fourth major part of Matchmaker and will cement them into getting together at the end. And then you can also get anomaly 101.1 way up here at the top. Now going over to the campgrounds, we can get anomaly 91.5 right over here. Then above that, we can grab letter 12 up here. And way over here, we can get anomaly 97.9. Now, going over to our last area of the map, we have Relay Point, where we can get anomaly 106.7 right here. And the final letter, number 13, right over here. Now, if you made it this far, you've probably liked the guide up to this point. So I'll do the YouTuber thing and ask that you like the video, subscribe, and comment down below to let me know that you've made it this far. And if you want to go a step further, hit the join button below the video to join the member club for as little as 99 cents to help fund future video production. Now, let's get back into it. Now that we're heading back over to the bunker to end this run, you can go talk to Ren and Nona to find out that they will be dating, and we can go down into the bunker. In here, we'll want to help Jonas with a tape player to keep him happy for new beginnings. And then, once the ending's going, you're gonna need to close the ghost gate with your radio instead of walking through the portal to leave. And lastly, we can make sure that we get new beginnings for Jonas becoming our stepbrother. So once you go back to this last time jump back to when Michael was still alive, you're gonna want to tell him to leave. This way, you'll still have the party where he does drown. Once you get to this ending stat screen, we're gonna go through and get this house is clear for completing the story in general. New beginnings for Jonas being our stepbrother after choosing to have Michael leave and die. And Matchmaker for getting Ren and Nona to date. Wow, that was a long section. Luckily, the other two playthroughs will be much faster to get through. So now we can start our Burn All Bridges playthrough, where we're gonna get you just end up hating each other for keeping Ren and Nona from dating, Renjamin Spanklin for slapping Ren in the face, Thicker Than Water for bringing Michael back from the dead, and I'm the Firestarter for making enemies of all your friends. Starting out will be normal up until we get to the campfire. We'll get Renjamin Spanklin for first slapping Ren during Truth or Slap when he's asked about liking Nona, and you'll just need to make sure that you call him out for lying and then take the opportunity to slap him. From this point on, you'll get you just end up hating each other for keeping Ren and Nona from dating as long as you don't go through and do all of the steps we did on the last playthrough to convince Nona that he's a good guy, and you instead go through the steps I'll be listing out for this run's major achievement, I'm the Firestarter. Of course, our objective is to turn all of our friends into enemies because yes, we're out here burning all of the bridges. So of course, you'll want to not talk to Nona before jumping the fence at the beach. Then, when given the choice on whether to save Ren or Clarissa first, you're gonna want to go save Clarissa first. Ren will not like that, and we have much worse things that we can do to Clarissa later on. Once you get back to Harden Tower, you're gonna want to blame Jonas for everything that happened in the caves. That'll cause Ren and Jonas to fight quite a bit, and you'll just need to stoke the flames. Then when asked on who you're gonna take with you, you're gonna take Nona and let the boys fight it out over in the tower. Then after the main street stuff, you're gonna go back over to the Adler estate and find out that they did not have a good time.
No, I'm glad we can leave, let's put it that way.
Perfect. In Adler's house, you're gonna want to make sure that you do not talk to Nona while searching the house. Then over at the bridge stand, don't convince Nona to date Ren, and make sure that you sacrifice Clarissa and tell everyone about it. Then while in the bunker, you'll want to make sure that you don't help Jonas with the tape player. And once at the area with the ghost, Clarissa again close the gate, and then in the time jump back to Michael, we'll go ahead and get Thicker Than Water for bringing Michael back from the dead. You'll just need to tell him to stay home and go to school so that he never has his going away party and never drowns. So then at the stat screen at the end, you're gonna end up getting a lot of updates on how you aren't friends with any of your friends anymore, and you'll get I'm the Firestarter. Then once it gets over to Michael's part of the picture, you'll get the Thicker Than Water achievement for bringing Michael back. And now we'll finally move on to our third and final playthrough for one specific achievement. The Strong Silent type, which is for playing the whole game without saying anything. This refers only to the spots where you have your 3 dialogue options pop up, so just be sure to never click one of those options the entire game, and you'll be good. Your character will speak when doing some actions, but those are fine as long as you aren't actually choosing a dialogue choice. It doesn't matter what choices you make outside of that, so just go along with whatever. And then technically at the very end of the game during the stat screen, it's going to force you to choose one of the options for what you actually did after the game, but that's fine as it will still give you the achievement right after you get through that.
It's something to do, right?
And with that, we have all of the achievements in Oxenfree. Now be sure to check out my playlist with some of my other recent achievement guides, or whichever video of mine YouTube recommends. This week, we'll be going over all of the achievements in Oxenfree.